Priya, as she is known, is the last born in a family of 4 siblings, coming from a humble background where education was a reserve for a few and a remote thing to attain, making it difficult for her and her sisters as well, resulting to her dropping out of school.
I dropped out of school because of lack of school fees from Form 3, and I could not go to college. I could not afford any of this education that today we have. There's so much of competition going on, but it was very difficult for me, and I still had to look for jobs and part-time, try to save up some money to go to college. And just with the basic knowledge today, I am proud to say that I'm a managing director of Craft Silicon Limited.
Based on the experience she had gone through while growing up, this is what inspired her in giving back to the community through the Craft Silicon Foundation program. This program involves training the less privileged in the society in the current technology and basic computer knowledge.
We had a very good, excellent plan on giving the IT education. What we wanted to do is have proxy centers in most of the slums in the country. But then again, we realized that most of the students that we're targeting are such less fortunate people. They cannot even afford bus fares to go to colleges and schools. So why not come up something rather than them coming to places where they cannot afford? We should go to them. So we came up with a very unique project, that's a mobile classroom, whereby we have well-fitted computers inside a bus. It goes to most of the slums of the country, and students don't have to go places where they cannot afford to go.
The Computer Service Foundation bus has fully equipped computers installed so that students can learn while on the move.
We have a full computer which is supported by a server. Now this machine is able to be inclined to make sure that the student has a better view of the computer. Even when the student is seated, he's able to. So this thing can easily recline in and out. This one helps the student to focus and not strain the body when he's focusing on the training. Now the bus has 4 servers, which each server supports 3 computers. This is the main server. Now this server is able to support these 3 workstations, this and this. And how do we achieve this? We usually use end computing modules. It's a small device. It's a very small device which virtualizes a computer. Now the reason why we use that technology is to make sure that we conserve energy, or we conserve power. And the facility being solar powered, there is a considerable amount of power that we're able to generate from solar. Now that one server and these 3 modules, they use less power, so we're able to conserve as much power, and the bus can actually the power that you usually make from solar can power the facility 3 hours or even 4 hours into the night. That's when it's not recharging. With the solar up there, we are able to save our power in these batteries. We are using 3 powerful batteries, and then from these batteries we're able to convert that direct current to alternating current using this inverter. Now from this inverter, we're able now to use that alternating current to all the machines in this center. So it's a technology that is self-sustaining when it comes to use of solar energy. At a go, we're able to accommodate 24 students. That's when 2 students are sharing a computer.
She admits, however, that attaining this success was not a walk in the park. Being a woman and venturing into an IT sector was not that well received either. She, however, says that this became her driving force into attracting most of the women on board.
In the beginning, it was always very difficult being a woman. Sometimes people don't accept you, like being in that kind of a field, and meeting the students sometimes it was getting a bit challenging because not everybody could understand what we are there for. When we walk around into most of the slums like in Kibera, many people would not understand what we are talking about. So it was very difficult to sit down and explain to them and tell them that we're here, this is what we want to do for you. Most of those women that we've been targeting, they've been very quiet, very shy. It's very difficult to do counseling with them and encourage them to be part of this, because we all believe that IT is only meant for men, but that's not true. It's in today's world, I think men and women are equal, and we do a lot of counseling, we motivate them, and it's working out.
Since its inception 2 years ago, the foundation has recorded tremendous growth not only in student capacity but also in equipping them into embracing use of IT in their day-to-day lives.
In the near future, I can manage to get some cash from designing wedding cards and those materials. So I think completing this course will help me in the future.
We have about 5,500 students already educated from the program. It's been 2 years now, and at the moment we have about 500 students on session, and they'll be graduating by the end of this month, and we have already started community work looking for more students. And most of the students, the course is usually for 4 months at the site, and we have a knowledge center based here at the offices. So after about 3 months, when we finish our project, students go through an exam. When they do very well, we provide them a certificate which helps them to get good jobs. And we also have a product that we've just launched. Craft Silicon has launched a product called Alma. So most of the students who come to our knowledge center get a little more training from our programmers, what Alma is and how it works. Alma is a program whereby you can make various transactions using your mobile. So some of the students who are employed by our company, some of them who've opened some kiosks and they're operating on Alma, whereby you don't transact with cash, but you can just accept transactions over an Alma platform.
Being a pilot project, there has been difficulties in overcoming the challenge of recruiting and giving many students an opportunity of their wish to learn, since they have only one bus.
There's so many students out there who are so encouraged, they want to be part of this program. So sometimes while doing community work, it gets very challenging to ask some other students, you have to wait for another 3 months before this set of students is complete. So that becomes a bit challenging. It sometimes gets a bit emotional to just hold a few people back, and that is why we want to encourage a lot of other well-wishers and sponsors to partner with us in this good noble course that we are doing, so we can work together and make it more big and educate more people.
To help solve the challenges that the foundation face, they have come up with a fundraising event in July named Tigo, involving a charity walk and an expo that will paint a clear picture of the power of technology.
Tigo is technology on the go. You know how technology is really expanded in today's lives. You can do a lot of things while you're walking. You can do a lot of applications on your mobile. You can make various transactions using your mobile. You can walk around using your laptop and do a lot of things. You can chat, you can go to internet. There's just so much happening in technology. We'll be having this walk from Westlands, KICC and back, where people will be walking and doing various transactions and using their mobiles and devices and doing all different things, just to show the public that we have a lot of technology in the country, and this is what we can do with our mobiles, our laptops while we're walking. You don't just have to be seated in your office to do those things. You can be on the go while you're doing those things.
Looking back where she started, she is confident enough of what she has achieved so far, going to an extent of offering counsel to her students in giving them hope through her own experience.
It's nothing hidden, because most of these women, we give them quite a lot of examples. I'm an example of that myself. If I'm a woman, I could make it, then why not you?
In doing this, she admits that her life is not the same anymore.
At first, maybe I was very shy, very difficult. It was very hard for me to just walk into most of the places like in the slums and interact with the students. But I didn't want to give up, because I know I had gone through some challenges, and I tried that a couple of times with my project manager. And talking and interacting with the students, I see the other part of this life. I mean, there are so many people who have a lot of initiative, and they're so friendly people out there. And it's really changed me. It's made me a much better person. I think I'm more humble now, more friendlier than I was before, and I'm able to interact with everybody more openly. It's really changed me personally as well.
However, were it not to be for her husband and family, Priya admits that she could not have achieved this much, not forgetting her daughter, who prides in following into her mother's footsteps.
I'm very lucky. I think I'm blessed to have a wonderful husband who's very understanding, who's very supportive. In fact, what I am today is because of him. My husband and I work together in this company. We are the founders of Craft Silicon Limited, and maybe that helps us. Most people say it's very difficult for a husband and wife to work together, but I don't totally agree with that, because I think it's worked very well for us. So for the past 13 years, we've formed this company, and we've done so well together. And I feel like whenever I have a bright idea, I just share it with him, and he listens to it very carefully, and he helps me to implement it. In fact, Craft Silicon, the CEO of this company, Mr. Kamal, who happens to be my husband, just walked to him one day and just talked to him about my project on the foundation, what I wanted to do, and he took it very positively, and he was my first sponsor. Also my parents, who've encouraged me, despite being from a very simple, humble family, they've always encouraged me not to give up. And I do have an 8-year-old daughter who I encourage her to be part of this all the time. In fact, most of the places when we do community work, we go to most of the places like Kibera, Mathari, she's always involved with me on weekends. And on Sundays we do have a program for the little girls, for little children in Kibera. Most of the time my daughter is also involved in that. So I just want her to feel like everybody is a norm and neutral to you. Nobody is rich or poor, everybody is one.
As a role model to many, she has this advice to give.
We have so much of talent in our country. It's just that we need to provoke these people and try to, motivate them. And I think we can do quite a lot here with them. And our future is IT and technology. I think we should work towards that and educate our generation. The children of today are the future of the generation tomorrow.
Craft Silicon Foundation has made small but enormous effort in the sector of information technology awareness, which clearly convinces that nurturing ambitions and working towards attaining them through engaging information technology skills can lead to a computer literate society. Violet Makendo, GBS.